Hi, and welcome to this week's podcast, brought to you by Dreaming Spectre. We wanted Mean Machine, as you might have seen from last thing, but found out someone came up with that before we did.
Son of a bitch.
Yeah, Filthy Frank.
Oh, you sack.
He named a music CD after it.
Frank.
Oh.
So,
I love you, Filthy Frank.
we love you, Filthy Frank.
What?
Okay.
I don't know who that is. That doesn't mean nothing to me.
Oh, what rock do you live under? I'll educate you.
A very large rock.
It's time to stop.
Okay, so today we are going to talk about a few points. I could tell you what those points are, but watch the podcast. Okay.
Wait, it's watch the video and listen to the podcast. You don't watch podcasts.
Listen to the video.
Just close your eyes, embrace it in, and meditate. Now enter Screech here. Okay. So, Apple wants me to update. No, Apple.
Get out of my head, Apple.
Anytime you open up a computer and Apple wants your attention.
Yeah. What are you doing? It's
Look,
not
we
important.
broke up years ago.
Yeah.
Leave me alone.
What are you guys doing? It's not as important as you updating this Apple script.
Okay. So, we're going to open up with mobile gaming. And when I say mobile gaming, I'm sure most of you who believe yourself true gamers automatically think handheld consoles. Well, unfortunately not that kind of mobile gaming. We're going to go into actual sugar-filled, pay to play or pay to win mobile gaming. So, if you own a smartphone, you are probably have played a game or two on it. If you don't own a smartphone, well, I'm concerned to how you found this video. No, we still love you. We still love everybody.
I wouldn't go that far.
We tolerate you.
Yeah.
There we go.
You got
The
a
very
point.
few I love you. Everyone else, I merely tolerate you.
I hate everyone equally.
Like, comment, and subscribe.
Alright, so, to start off, a lot of people in different communities, in more consoles, PC, even handheld consoles, look at mobile gaming and just has this stereotype that is not real gaming. What is your opinion on it not being real gaming? To Sarah.
Oh, right, I gotta start first. Okay. Well, I don't agree with that. I definitely think it's real gaming. It's just a completely different platform, and it's newer, so people are like, no, new things change. I don't like it. So, I don't see what's wrong with it, honestly. And there's tons of mobile games out there that I don't like, and I don't see the point of. But that's like watching, movies and playing other kinds of video games that, just because I don't like it, then why would you spend your money or your time doing it? So I just avoid those ones, and I'll enjoy the ones that I do like. So that's pretty much all I got for you.
You and your dragons.
You just...
I got nothing about dragons. That's not
Oh
me.
yeah, it was owls, wasn't it?
Owls
You
of
have-
Ga'Hoole?
Well, I do like that. I like that movie. Okay, it's very cute. You were the one with the dragons. I did the owls.
That's right.
I just did Fire Emblem, that new Fire Emblem game, and a Dragon Ball Z one, and a Naruto one.
I'm seeing a pattern here.
I don't see one. I think they're all unique and different. Their gameplay is completely different than anything I've ever played in my
So the
entire
fact
life.
they're all shonen has nothing to do with it.
Fire Emblem's a video game. It's not shonen, so shut your mouth. Shut your dirty mouth. But okay, since she has finished her statement, I would like to
put it on to
I would like to steal the limelight for a moment. See, in essence, yes, I do believe that mobile gaming is gaming. Of course it is. It's people playing video games. That's the definition of gaming. Now, if you want to break it up into categories of casual gaming and hardcore gaming, then fine, break it up into categories. That's fine. Most, yeah, most.
But what is hardcore gaming? Like, where does that line has changed so much.
True.
Because now you have professional gaming.
Mm-hmm.
What's the difference between hardcore gaming and professional gaming?
I got you right here. Okay. So, casual gaming, mobile gaming. Hardcore gaming, when you go spend $5,000 on a computer, on a PC or whatever, or you go buy the newest console, and you play religiously and things like that. And then professional gaming is where you're so damn good, people pay you to
Yeah, it's an actual sport.
Esports.
Yeah. And that actually sums it up pretty damn well. I was about to say that. That's pretty nice. I think casual gaming, I think the bar should usually be set with like how much money you're willing to spend on this hobby. Like there's there's little people that do like when you think of hobbies in general. Like there are some people that go into a hobby that would spend like $100, $200 a month on it, but they're not going to splurge on it. Then there's people that will spend $1,000, $2,000, $3,000 on a hobby in a certain month, and those are what you would call like hardcore in that hobby. I think that's the same for PC. It's how much money you are willing to spend in it. But that's also kind of funny because mobile gaming has become such a juggernaut with the money because there's so many people willing to spend $1, then maybe $5, then maybe $20,
which all adds up.
Yeah, which eventually adds up to a shit ton of money. But overall, if you sat down with a mobile gamer and said, "Yeah, I just bought a $3,000 PC rig," they would be like, "For what? Gaming?" It's like, you mean the thing I could do on my smartphone?
Right.
It's like, no, that's completely different stuff.
So that brings up a question. So you have people who justify gaming that way, and hardcore gaming is people willing to spend that extra money.
Well, and the time, I think, too.
Money and time. Because
that went down wrong.
Just feel it.
Yeah.
So you got a lot of people who spend money and time in video games. Of course, yeah, and that's why people make video games. Is at the end of the day, a dev has to be paid. They do.
Yeah.
There's a lot that goes into a game.
Unless the company goes under.
Well,
then nobody gets fucking paid.
Well, yeah. But then you have companies like Sonic Team.
Oh, yeah.
So, we won't get into that. That's a discussion for another time. But the point I wanted to bring up is then there are a lot of mobile games that cross over that line, too. Wouldn't you say? Because you have, what do you call it? Anyway, you have microtransactions throughout video games now, throughout a lot of mobile gamings. To, like, oh, you need a gem, pay $5 for 300 gems.
Yeah.
But then you have a game like Castle Crashers.
Mm-hmm.
Or some other famous mobile game, Candy Crush.
Castle Crashers is not a mobile game, by the way.
Oh, is that, what was I thinking?
I don't know.
Clash of Clans.
I was thinking Clash of Clans. Thank you.
Castle Crashers is like that 2D beat-em-up game, right?
It was.
It's good, too.
Yeah, okay. But yeah, Clash of Clans was the one I was thinking of. That's the one where everybody really puts money down. I've seen some people drop $300 in one day on that game.
That sounds...
Jesus.
No. In my personal opinion, if I've already spent like $60 on a game, I don't feel like putting in any more money for that.
So that brings up my topic. Would you consider someone who does drop let's say $600 a week on that game? Would that be a hardcore gamer? It is a casual mobile game.
I would feel like that person would be, and I don't want to like subcategorize this too much. I was about to say I feel like that would be a hardcore gamer in the casual gaming spectrum. Someone who is willing to spend that much money on it. But I don't think that the majority of people that play casual games or mobile games are willing to spend that much money on a single week. Now, over time, maybe.
Especially if they're really into it.
Yeah.
Even though they've been playing it for, maybe say 4 or 5 months. I can understand maybe doing that much money over a period of time.
Yeah, because, you spend like $300 to $400 over a period of time on like, a subscription service to something or whatever.
Whatever, yeah.
All right. Your thoughts on that?
What was the question?
What?
I'm sorry, Governor. What?
We've gotten a little further away. I want to reiterate. What's the question here?
Well, the question is, what sizes are... Never mind. No, the question is... What? People are curious.
Sure, yeah.
The question is, what do you think of the gamers who will spend hundreds of dollars on a mobile game? Do you consider those hardcore gamers, or do you put them in a subcategory?
Like me.
I do feel like that is kind of the only way to do that would to be a subcategory. It would be like that's a hardcore mobile gamer, which is different from, say, a regular hardcore gamer. Because when I think that mobile gaming is still so new that it kind of has its own. It is a separate entity from PC and console, obviously. So I feel like I think it's justified to have its own subcategory.
Okay.
Even though I'm sure it would get very convoluted if you kept going.
Yeah,
and going
like
and going,
you know,
but-
like music subcategories.
Right.
Yeah, I want to listen to metal music. Oh, what type of metal music?
Exactly.
We got grunge. We got you could just go through every single one of them.
My thoughts kind of go back and forth. For me, the idea as a developer, the temptation to go in the mobile is high, just because if you do get something launched, you got not just one person or two person willing to spend $300 a week on your game, but a lot of people.
Yeah.
You want to talk about money in the industry, mobile gaming has rocketed towards that. You get a game, $60 game, AAA title, $60. Yeah, a lot of people are going to buy it. But once they buy that $60, that's
That's as much as they want to spend.
Unless there's some DLC, some
Yeah.
add-ons that you can throw on.
But see, that's more extra content. That's
Right.
That's far more than just saying, "Hey, if you want to continue in the game that you already bought, put down like $20 and you get 50 jewels."
Right.
Yeah.
So, now, that's going to roll over to my next topic here in a second. But when I'm thinking about that, the temptation of that is grand. So, as a developer who's going to eventually develop for my target audience, I have to almost treat that audience as I would any other field of gaming.
Mm-hmm.
So it kind of changes that perspective a little bit,
Yeah.
in my eyes. Because at that point, it's not hardcore gamers versus casual gamers, it's target audience.
True.
Yeah.
But
And-
with your target audience, would you be aiming for people that are more fanatical over games, or would you
Right.
rather point towards the people that are just going to see it on the App Store and just play away at it while they're on the toilet?
Yeah.
Who's the majority?
Casuals. Those filthy, disgusting casuals.
Exactly.
Hey.
Or console peasants.
You
You have
freaking-
those too.
Disgust me.
Okay. But yeah,
I accidentally spit on myself.
So yeah, I used to be very much into the, a real gamer is this, a real
Oh.
gamer is that. We all were ignorant teenagers at
Yeah.
one point.
We were all filled with emotions and rage. We all had
Were?
our.
We still are.
I still am. It's just I know how to control it. I know where to point it.
Yeah, towards the web browser.
Right. Just go on forums and tell everyone why PC sucks and consoles are 10 times better.
Exactly. So, with that said, this brings me to my next discussion. Microtransactions now appearing in AAA titles. Oh,
Wait, is that a thing?
Yes.
that is the
yes.
thing that's happening in the world.
Is that real new or?
Well, I wouldn't call it new. The first time I ever really remember it being very prominent in the media is with Dead Space 3, with its gun mechanics.
Yeah.
You could actually buy parts, I believe.
Yeah, and I stopped playing because of it.
Yeah.
Because,
We'll see.
that got
That's.
broken real quick.
Do you want to speak first or?
You know what? Go first.
I don't feel like I have enough experience
Okay,
with this to be able
okay.
to tell you.
First off, in my personal opinion, I hate it. I really do. And I understand that, devs need to be able to make money so they can make other games that you might enjoy. However, you can do that with DLC. You could do that with other things in your game to make that money back if you desire. My personal issue is when you stunt the growth of your game with microtransactions. When you do what a free-to-play game does, but you skip the free part. I already dropped $60 on this game. Why do I have to pay you more money to progress in your game that I already bought? Now, if you wanted to sit there and say, oh, well, you know, you could buy this armor that'll make you go through the level faster, I'm like, okay, that's optional. You could talk about, I could still beat the game without it. It's when you hit a freaking paywall, like in Dead Space, and you're like, you can't keep going until you do this.
Yeah.
Until you give me money.
Okay.
Or you can go back and grind for a couple hours.
Yeah.
Yeah, or, you know, one thing that I haven't really seen yet, but I'm sure someone's going to try it, is the time cap. You know how in mobile gaming, you have so much energy, or you have so much whatever that you can do before you run out, and you can either refill your energy by paying by 10 whatever.
Yeah, or you can
wait 20 minutes.
Yeah. Like a gambler, you know.
Yeah.
Would you rather, you know, pay a little bit extra to keep gambling, or do you just want to put it over the side real quick? But you're not. You're not, are you? You don't want to wait. You're on a roll.
Exactly. Now, I haven't seen that in AAAs, but I see it coming.
Yeah.
When that starts coming, and this is one I can ask you, what do you think the reaction will be? Do you think that there'll be a little bit of push, and then eventually nobody will care? Do you think it's enough to actually lose companies' money? What do you think's going to happen? Where do you see it? I'm going to start with you.
Well, I think it's a terrible idea. As you mentioned, like, I don't mind going, you know, on my phone, on my app store, paying, you know, $2 for a game, and then once in a while I'll pay another $1 to help me along a little bit or whatever. Because, I'm an actual casual mobile gamer. I just, you know, do it, you know, because I have extra time. I'm not dropping $300 a week. I don't mind doing that, and then like you said, I paid my $60 for this game. I might pay for some DLC, but that's all I expect to pay.
Yeah.
Like, that's it. Sorry, not doing more. So I think it's a terrible idea, and I really hope that there's enough pushback that they're going to reconsider the idea.
Do you think that there would be enough pushback, though? Or do you think people are so passive?
That's why I said I hope there will be. I really don't know enough yet to say one way or the other, but like I really hope there is. That would be something that I would push back against for sure. Because hell no, am I paying the extra money? Sorry. I've already given you my $60, $70. Not doing it.
Okay.
100% I feel like there would be a pushback. I do. Because, I mean, there was a pushback to microtransactions being in video games. Now, companies will still put that shit in there because they know that there's a few people that will still pay for it. But there's also a good amount of people that are doing that are also trying to make it so that, oh, you guys don't have to actually buy it. It's almost like DLC in a sense, but sort of, kind of. But I do believe that there would be pushback, but I don't think there'll be enough to stop greedy publishers who are willing to try that shit.
Greedy publishers.
Look, I'm not saying you can't want money, but don't be a dick about it.
Again, to my future boss, who
Yeah.
may or may not see this in the future, I love your company's policy,
Yeah.
and I will continue to do anything you tell me to do.
Yeah, if they bring this video up, you just look at them, it's like, no, I meant the other publishers
Yeah,
that you're
exactly.
going against. Those greedy bastards
Exactly.
over there.
To whom this may concern.
Yeah.
But, okay. So, how do you feel that differs from EA's move? Have you played any EA game recently?
Yes.
How they make you have a EA account that you have to pay for in order to play their games. Oh, you're not aware of this?
No.
EA started a subscription thing to where you actually had to pay. I don't know if they're still doing it, but there for a couple of years, you had to pay $8 to get in their subscription feed to play their games.
Just play a game that you bought for them.
Yes. You didn't know this.
I'm fucking sorry.
Well, I don't.
She was there when I tried to buy Dead Space.
Yeah, I don't think it's if you already own it, you have to pay the subscription. But if you want to buy one of their games now, you have to pay for the subscription. Or at the time when we were trying to buy the game.
I'm fucking sorry. I spent $30, $40, $50, $60 on whatever the fuck game I want to. I should be able to put it in my machine and play it. You got my money. That's the end of the transaction. You don't get to sit next to me and start taking $8 out of my pocket a fucking month. Hey, you bought my game. Yeah, bought it. I don't fucking buy a hamburger, go home, and then the fucking clown is on my back trying to pull money out of my pocket. Well, you bought the hamburger. It's like, go fuck yourself, EA.
I didn't rent this. I'm not.
Yeah.
This is a payment plan. I bought the freaking game.
Yeah. I bought it outright. Okay,
they're still doing it.
If I buy EA Access, oh shit, yeah, I remember that. I thought it was optional.
No, there for a while. It was for some games. It is not optional.
Son of a bitch. That is stupid. That is beyond stupid. That
makes no damn sense.
Yeah, but see,
so that kind of triggered you there.
Yeah. In all essence, there will be people that will sit there and go, "Oh, this is great." But you know,
I gotta play my FIFA.
Yeah, I gotta play my FIFA, man. Madden and shit. Come on, dude. I'm like, are you fucking serious? You're willing to pay $8 a month while also buying a $60 game to play a game that will be obsolete in a year. Yeah. Look, I have a game that comes out yearly that I love to play.
It's $30 a year.
$30 a year.
Okay.
That's $30 a year too much. They should not be doing that.
While I don't agree with what they're doing, $30 a year is not that much in the scheme of things, but that's still ridiculous. Like when you pay for Xbox Live, as an example, you're getting extra services for that money that you're paying, and they're also quicker to fix things when things go down. Like you're paying for that service. With this, you're not. What is the service that you're getting? Unless you
get to play the game that they gave you.
The whole premise behind it when they first started it. Like I said, I don't know how much different it is now from 4 years ago or however long it's been. Because again, I went to buy a Dead Space, the original Dead Space on disc, and I tried uploading it and just ran into problems. Then same with Dead Space 2. And EA just wasn't having it. And yeah, that kind of killed my love for Dead Space. Yeah. But I don't know how much has changed for now, but the original idea of it was to stop piracy.
Oh, yeah.
So the whole idea was, to have the games coded and protected, and as long as you had an EA licensing or EA access, it wasn't an issue.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Now, I can understand them trying to do that by having you pay $8 one time.
Yeah, maybe like $8. Even if they did
right
it
now, it seems like it's $4.
Yeah, even if they did it like once, like hey, $20 up front, a month. I mean, not a month. Jesus Christ, a year, maybe even $40 for 2 years. You get to play all of our EA games. I would not. Yeah, I would not be that pissed. Even then, I'm still pissed off. Because how freaking I bought this game. I have it, the physical copy or the digital copy on Steam.
I think like the wall really happened if you bought used games. I think that's where that wall really hit. But here's my thing.
Because they think used games are piracy, apparently.
Yeah, why try to stop that? I mean, I have a game that, especially cookie cutter games,
I know
like
why.
FIFA.
I know why, because in all honesty, they don't get money out of that. They don't get money out of used games when they're sold.
Exactly.
Well, yeah, of course not.
So why would they give two fucks about... You're not giving me money, so why should I care about you?
Hey, money.
Hey.
Right.
Not a good solution to your problem, guys. Sorry.
Again, EA, if you see this in the future and I happen to work for you, just know that I adore your policies and will always enforce them.
I changed my mind from today.
Exactly. Don't let the my past opinions reflect onto my current self.
Yeah.
I am a saint, I swear.
Hey,
I would never talk shit about you to other people behind
I beat Saint Rose. I'm officially a saint.
I beat the third.
I like the fourth a lot.
Was that a burp?
Yes, it was.
I thought you were just going,
No, it was a very gross burp. Excuse me.
I thought you were just trying to summon up the demons from hell.
I was.
Get out of hell.
Okay, so onward to the next subject.
Fucking stupid.
He's gonna be stuck on that.
I can't help it. You ruined my day, sir. I was happy. I was fine. Now it's just gone.
Okay, so, alright, my next one is another money problem that's come up. And this is early access. Early access games. I know one you're salty about.
Yeah, we're not gonna talk
Oh, we're going to talk about it today here on the podcast.
about it. No! So
Okay.
angry.
So there's a situation. Have you played the game Ark at all?
Ark Survival Evolved?
Yes.
I haven't played it, but I've watched people play it.
Okay. Well, Ark did this thing to where they were an early access game. That it was expensive for early access. It was like 30, 39, somewhere in that range.
I think it's that 30 to 40 somewhere in there.
Yeah. And before the game was even officially released, they released a $20 DLC.
No.
And didn't offer it to the early access people. The early access people who paid the $30 had to pay another $20 for the DLC before it was even officially released.
Before it was
officially released, just for the record,
So-
as of October 2017.
Are you sure about that?
I'm pretty damn sure.
Okay.
Okay, so you're telling me this game that's not even a game, that's in early access, as it says, has the gall to, first off, make DLC for the game they haven't even finished, and then not even give the early access payers it like on a discount or for free to test it out or anything like that. No, you still have to pay $20. So you're telling me I had to pay $50, almost as much as a full game out on retail for a game that's not even finished?
Yep.
Correct.
Bullshit. I'm sorry. If you're in early access, you should feel nearly ashamed to sit there and say, "Oh, here's some DLC as well for the game I haven't finished." How do you have the balls to sit there and look at your gamer base and say, "Look, I know I haven't put this out as an actual game. We still haven't finished it, but we were also working on DLC for this unfinished game. Why don't you buy it?"
Now, coming from someone who actually bought the early access and actually bought the DLC.
Because I'm a loser like that.
Don't feel bad. There's a game that I'm buying now that I bought the deluxe edition just to get it 3 days early. I'm a fucking loser.
We know the feeling. Hey, I'm the one with the Halo 4 Xbox, and we have the Legendary Edition Halo 4, which was amazing.
I would like to retract my statement. We're not losers, we're passionate!
Yeah, losers.
Passionate losers. But
You see, we're the grown-up losers club.
Yeah. Hey, at least I'm grown up. At least I'm able to buy shit that, I can, sink my time into. Who cares what I do? As long as, I'm paying with my own money.
yep, very true.
You're not with Casey's.
Hey, now.
You're an
Just-
all-star. Get your game on.
Oh my god.
Before we start having a High School Musical session here,
Oh,
what is your thoughts on that? Like, how did you feel about that? And how do you...
He's just so going.
I'm sorry, my friend, he will never be the rock star.
Damn it!
Go back to playing Guitar Hero VR.
I definitely will.
Okay, so a few problems that I had with that. Well, first of all, I was very upset. I thought this was the most bullshit thing I've ever heard in my life. I was like, you guys are even officially game. Fix the other parts of the game first before you do this. And the thing is about the DLC, okay, for people who have not played, there's two types that you can play on about the DLC. It's the center and the island. They're two different maps, basically. The DLC is called Scorched Earth. It's a completely different map. It's desert. It's a fuck ton harder to play than the center, or it goes the center, the island, and then Scorched Earth, I think, in relativity of
So,
hardness.
it went from normal gaming to Dark Souls level gaming.
Alright.
Um,
I'm with you on that.
a big thing about Ark is that you can play by yourself. but it's much quicker and much easier if you get together with people in tribes. I personally am not a person that I'm not personally a person, an alien, that plays well with other people. I'm not good approaching other gamers on a server to be like, hey, let me help you, I'll help you, you help me. I'm just not good at it.
Yeah.
I'm much better playing by myself.
I only play with myself.
Okay. Thank you for that.
And I also play alone in video games.
You see, I can't say the same.
But, so that's a huge thing. I think that Scorched Earth personally was not a good choice for me. I should not have bought it because it's so much harder and I have a hard time getting together with people to play.
Mm-hmm.
Also, even if you have a tribe, it takes massive amounts of hours to get things done. Like, so long. Leveling up is really hard. You get killed almost constantly when you first begin playing. Like, as a level 1, I didn't even know how to eat berries off the bushes. I was like, what is happening? What's wrong? I was too far away from the bushes to pick up berries.
You didn't walk into the box collaborative that triggers the script that says eat the berry.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, because in my defense, in most other games, you have to step back a little to grab shit. Well, apparently not in this game.
No, you need to be right up in front of it.
Right inside of that bush.
Yeah,
Okay.
your person's literally biting the berries off the tree.
Exactly. So that's what I think, personally, that it was not a good choice, because I'm not great playing with other people and approaching other people, which is something you definitely have to have for the DLC, is to play with tribes. What else was I going to say? I can't remember. Go on, I
Okay.
don't remember it.
So, there are some things with money. You know, a lot of people would argue about the ARC things that the developer needed more money to actually finish the game. But that's not a good way to go about it.
That's his fault.
Yeah. So, again, he probably had some issues. You know, if I remember looking into it, he had some discrepancies he had to deal with. But
I'm sorry, I remember what I was going to say. This is also a good and a bad thing for the DLC, The Scorched Earth. It is much harder. But one of the things you can do is, if you have, say, a level 30 character on the island that you first started out with, you got real high up, you were with tribes and everything, you're like, oh, okay, let's move to another map, another server. You can do that. So you can take your level 30 character and go to a completely new map. And while that's good for Scorched Earth, I think, in some ways, because then, you know, you have more of a chance to survive it, even on your own. Because I went there as a level 35 character, I think, and it made it much easier. I wasn't dead every 3 seconds. But I think that's also a really big downside, because you know how a lot of people are when they play, you know, MMOs like that.
oh yeah, they
People
can
are
be.
fucking assholes.
Well, see, that's just a community thing in general. That's there'll always be that one dick in a party that will always stay around, you know, the little guys at level 99
I got a
and
story
just
on that
slay
one.
them.
Yeah.
But that's the thing. I feel like, and maybe this is just like one of the major places I've seen it, but I've seen so many people like this in the community. And not even just personally, I've heard about so many of them.
Like, a good example is my first experience with ARC. Okay, so she's been playing it for a while, and I'm like, alright, I'll try it. So I go in, and I'm trying to level up, and someone on this map put those stupid little pillars all over the beginner's area. So a beginner couldn't even build a campfire.
Because you can't build within a certain distance from somebody else's
Pillar.
Really?
And somebody else's like buildings and stuff. You can't build so
So
far.
somebody from this tribe went all over this fucking island in the beginner's place and just put pillars. Every, like, and would space them out to where it'd be like where one end, one began. And I got angry.
I've never seen that angry over a video game before.
Oh, I was just furious because I spent 30 minutes dying because I couldn't find a spot to build a campfire to cook food.
I want to meet the guy that had that time to sit there and post that many posts.
No, it was a tribe.
Oh, what tribe just sits there and goes, you know what? Let's fuck with some newbies and just fill the entire starting area with pillars, just as a fuck you. Why do people just ruin games? Right. These are the people that make us all look bad.
Now, I will say it made some comedy, because what happened was I finally walked into the forest where I found this lake, and I was like, you know what? There's no pillar. I have no clue why anybody had to build here. Well, I named this spot in the name of Casey, and slammed down my fireplace, and 2 raptors come out of the woods and eat me.
You're like, oh god, this is a mistake! Ah! You're like trying to run away, and these raptors are just
No! And at that point, I just like, okay, I'm done.
Yeah, fuck this.
Yeah, okay. And that was my experience with Ark, and that's when anyone talks about Ark, that's what I think about.
And that's your only experience with Ark?
No,
Or
I
have you
played
been
a
playing
little
more?
bit more later, but, you know, it took me like another week to get back to it.
Yeah.
And one thing I really like, just some praise for this game. I really like that you can do, so you can play on servers with other people, yada yada yada. But time keeps going. You know, perpetually is that the word? Yeah, just continuously. Time keeps on going.
So yeah, if you log out of the game, your body just passes out.
Well, you got to put your body in a safe place. But I also like that you can play locally by yourself. You have the entire island to yourself, and as soon as you stop, time stops. You don't got to worry about feeding your dinosaurs. You don't got to worry about yourself. It's great. I love that. And you can also invite one more person locally to play with you. So that I very much enjoy. I thought that was a very good choice. Because I enjoy that. Like I said, I don't play well with strangers. Play great by myself. Bam. There we go.
I've never been a big fan of playing with a group. I think it's just because, you know, as a kid, my brother would always, you know, just never want to play games with me. He would always leave me alone. And, you know, I would always be alone by myself playing games. So I'm like, I'm just used to being a solo person.
Yeah,
just,
solo
you know,
player, for sure.
fighting computers. I'm not a person that goes out to try to find a guild. Like, I'm not the person that's just going to walk up to you. It's like, hey, you want to be friends? You want to be in my guild? Come on, let's go, buddy.
Yeah.
Especially if I can hear you over chat. You sound like a 12-year-old. Because I find it very weird to be friends with someone that is a 12-year-old in a video game.
Yeah.
It does make me a bit uncomfortable.
Yeah. Especially if they're cursing more than I am. I'm like...
Oh, some of the things... Alright. Toxic community.
Toxic community.
Alright.
No.
Alright. I'm going to actually bring this up into the topic. Okay. Every community has something bizarre about it. And I think that just speaks for humanity in itself. But, you know, there have been fan bases that has ruined some things for people. Everybody's seen it. You know, you have the stereotypes of the Sonic fans liking anything bizarre. I mean, just go to Google, type in Sonic X Shrek, and you'll see things that you never wanted to see before.
Just Sonic X something.
Anything.
Yeah. And you'll see things that you never wanted to see before. And then you go into, like, the COD community. If you listen in on a COD match, you will hear things that you never thought even a sailor would say.
Yeah.
Hey, we had some technical difficulties there, but we're back. Hey. So, yeah, we had an invader. We had to kill him, you know. He only had $5 on him, so better than Matt. Speaking of, how much did you bring today?
I can't say.
Well then, I'm just gonna set this.
You fucking weeb.
Right. Well, I might be a little bit of a weeb.
A little bit?
A little bit.
I think I see like 10 body pillows over there. And it's not even in your stash.
Let's not even talk about your cases of body pillows.
Hey, I'm not afraid to admit it.
Anyway. So, back to our discussion. We were talking about toxic communities. I just mentioned COD. I mentioned Sonic.
Keep your handles to yourself, sir.
So, I was going somewhere with it, I swear. My question to you all is, with the different toxic communities out there, what communities have ruined games for you? Or have turned you off onto a game?
Turned me off.
Like, you know, you had a game you were interested in getting, and the community, followed by it, you were just like, ugh.
Okay, I got one. Do you have one?
No.
Okay. The first one that comes to mind is No Man's Sky.
No Man's Sky.
First off, in my personal opinion, I believe that the man who created, I can't remember his name, hyped it up to all balls. In a sense, it technically, infinite possibilities. You could possibly see your friends, but there's a very small chance that you'll ever do that. And all that shit just keep coming out. And you saw how rabid the fans got more and more and more. Every time he had to push that thing back, because of a technical issue or because he needed more time, they would immediately start sending death threats to the man. Because and they would send death threats to people that would sit there and say that I don't think that, No Man's Sky is going to be as good as you guys think it's going to be. When your community is starting to send death threats to other people, you need to just step back for a minute and process your life a bit. Because you are sending death threats over a hobby. A hobby. It's not your life. It's not, unless it's, people getting into the development cycle like me or Casey or, other people in the SGD program. It's not your life. It's a hobby. And if a game comes out that's not the best, if you didn't put your back behind it, you would have been fine.
Yeah, I can see that. And I'm going to go to you.
Right, so I'm to understand that even before the game was released, people were going batshit.
Yes, 100%.
It's kind of just dessert that they
didn't get what they wanted.
No, it was, and the worst thing about No Man's Sky, from what I saw, is, okay, you fly your ship to another planet. You got that planet. That's great. Okay, what do you do on the planet? Well, you get resources so you can fuel your ship. So then you can fly more to other planets, so you can get fuel to fuel your ship, and also get shit to buy better ships that can fly you to other planets to get fuel to your ship. It's just a never-ending cycle of boredom, where all you do, it's not even like Minecraft, where you're able to build whatever you want in there. Yes, you have resource management, yes, you're doing monotonous shit, but at least at the very end of it, you can look back and see that you built this giant golden dick in the sky that's going to the heavens, and you're like, I did it.
Here's my monument.
Yeah.
A advanced version of the Tower of Pence.
Oh,
right.
Yeah.
I hope you got that reference.
Possibly.
Thank you, Adventure Hunter, for being a...
Achievement hunter.
That's what I said, wasn't it?
It's an adventure hunter.
I'm sorry, but I'm a Funhouse man all the way.
Oh, you're a traitor. That's okay. I will admit, before anything, I was a Yogscast fan.
Funhouse. I'm sorry. Funhouse is better. Funhouse has Bruce Green, and, Bruce Green is the best.
I mean, at the end of the day, you always have drunk Minecraft at well, or you did at least.
Yeah.
I haven't had a lot of experience with these people myself. I don't play, and I don't plan to play, server-based games. I just don't like them. Like I said, I don't work well with strangers and approaching them, so I don't see the point in trying to play those games. Unless it's something that I find that I think that I will really, really, really like.
Well, it doesn't even have to be like a server game. Like,
True.
yeah, No Man's Sky technically wasn't a server game because, he sat there on, Stephen Colbert and sat there and said, oh, you could meet other people, but it's very unlikely that you'll be in the same place as them.
Yeah.
He lied. There were people that did that, actually landed on the same planet, got in the same area, did this by math, and never saw a single one of them.
Right.
Damn.
And there was not even a game, like a player model. It was technically like a capsule that was walking around. So, you wouldn't have even been able to see the person anyway. So, yeah, it was kind of a lie. I get it if, he was pressured by people to say that or something like that. I understand that. But if it was him saying that and he knew it was a lie or, it was a mechanic that he had to take out, he should have said that.
Okay. But I will have to say, not as bad as a Romano's Daikatana.
Oh, my God.
Oh, I just pulled up some.
Yeah.
I'm going to make you my bitch.
Yeah.
Oh, you want to talk about trying to build a fan base when you didn't have one yet.
Mm-hmm.
No, Romano's a legend. Don't get me wrong. I love the man. I love everything he's done for the community. But I guarantee you that's the one black stain on his career.
Oh, yeah.
Is Daikatana. If you don't know what that is,
ask your parents.
Ask your parents. Oh boy.
Another toxic group. Once again, it's not even games itself. What almost turned me off from actually gaming my whole life was console versus PC people.
Really?
Yes, because in essence, it just seemed like a bunch of people just dick-wagging each other. Just sitting there going, mine is better. No, mine is better. And the reason that I picked a side finally is because I actually understood the facts of the matter. Because there's so many people that will sit there and tell you, oh, consoles are better because of this, this, and this. And I'm like, I got some hard facts to lay on you. Consoles don't have better graphics than PCs. If you built your own PC, you can make it 10 times better than any console could ever be.
Yeah.
Right now.
Yeah, they'll sit there and say, oh, they have better exclusives. Have you seen the library on Steam, Origins? If you want to make your own fucking ROM hacks, all that shit.
All fine. You can find it all there. Exactly.
Yeah, I may not have, one or two that are on the PS4, but guess what? I have a PS4. If I wanted to, I could just buy the 2 that I want and then have a giant library on my PC.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, you've seen my Steam library.
Yeah.
That'll keep me entertained for months.
Yeah.
Years.
The one thing too is that I also don't appreciate when a fandom starts out really good.
Yes.
And like people are really into it, people are good to each other and everything like that, and then it just slowly starts to rot from the inside out. I hate that. I hate when things start good and then they go bad because of that one group or that one individual or whatever. That's what really pisses me off.
You mean like the people pressuring Toby Fox to make another Undertale game?
I don't fucking have to do anything that he doesn't fucking want to. That man's a genius and I love him.
Yeah. I mean, there was actually a petition going around, and this is a little bit off of gaming, but I watch this show on Netflix called Voltron Legendary Defenders. And there's two... It's not even anime. It's from fucking DreamWorks. From the people that brought you Shrek. Is that weeaboo? But there's two characters.
Are we going to go back to what they're basing it on? Then yes.
There's two characters that, every single human being, every person, every creature on Tumblr, that, I didn't want to say person because there's other kins out there, and, whatever they are. Every breathing creature on Tumblr has drawn fan art of these. No,
because some people believe that they are the undead, so they're not even breathing. Everything
that's on Tumblr puts these two individuals, both of them male, in gay fan art, and that's fine. I don't care. You're able to do with your art what you want. But there was a petition started that they would boycott. They will send threats that if the creators of the show do not bring these two together as gay couples, they will boycott. They will send death threats. They'll send rape threats. They'll send all this shit. And I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? You're going to sit there and tell a company that they can't make the thing that they want to make?
See, that's where I don't understand the goal of people. It's one thing to enjoy something. It's a completely other thing to stifle a company's decision.
Mm-hmm.
For instance...
To press your own wants upon, them.
Yeah. And there are ways to do it. I mean, look at Marvel right now. Marvel Comics.
Dog show.
Yeah. We won't go into a lot of the political validity.
We're not going to talk about politics on this show.
We will avoid politics on the show. But instead of the fan base writing death threats and all this fun stuff, they just stopped buying the comics.
Yeah. So they're speaking with their wallets. The only way a company will truly understand.
Exactly.
And you know what? That's fine with me. Even if I don't agree with it every time, I'm like, look, you have the right to sit there and say you're not going to pay for something you don't like.
Exactly. Yeah. And that's how it should be done.
Yeah.
I think it's even stupider if you're gonna pay for something you don't like. Then what the hell's the point?
Why are you sitting here?
What's wrong with you?
Or I was gonna say, or when developers apologize,
mm-hmm. 1,
for a decision they made,
never apologize,
or 2, come up with the weirdest fucking excuses.
Mm-hmm.
Like I am horrible with names, but the chick in Metal Gear Solid.
Quiet. The reason that she's, barely clothed is because she breathes through her skin.
Yeah.
Even though, and there is a precedence through that, because in one of the Metal Gears, I think it's number 2, there was one dude that breathed through his skin.
Right.
That if you would put your controller down for like 2 days, he would die because he suffocated. But see, here's the thing. First off, the first one is an old-ass man wearing head-to-toe camouflage gear except for his fucking head, while Quiet is walking around in a fucking skimp outfit with just a bra and lace pants and a thong, and I'm like...
You see, if the developer would have just came out, is because...
I like boobs.
I like boobs and sex sells. I would have been like, okay.
He's
I like boobs too and sex sells.
Yeah, I'm not going to sit here and deny it. It's fine. You can do what you want with your own characters. And also, in my honest opinion, it's just like me and you are trying to make our own games. We want to. So I would hate, in my own sphere of making my own games, to put something out there. It starts gaining traction, it starts gaining followers and stuff like that, but then they start sending me death threats, sending me all this shit, because I didn't put who they wanted together, or I'm not making a second game of this, or this and that. And I take a huge credence of that, because once you flip it on them, they would immediately go, oh, no, I would never do that. Like, if these people were actually creating something themselves, and then someone came up to them and started telling them that they need to change it, or I'm gonna fucking kill you, they would realize how weird it is for them to do that.
And chat out there, that's the most ridiculous thing to me ever. And I understand some death threats being a real problem and being actual threats. I will literally kill you. I have the means to kill you.
There are some unstable people out there.
Yeah.
But the majority of people are just doing it because they're pansies hiding behind the computer and they don't like a decision.
You're able to say whatever you want behind a TV screen. Computer screen.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah, definitely.
I could sit there and say, I'm going to kill your mom, and then you're like, why would you do that? Why did you say that?
Right.
I know where you live, I'm going to send a bomb there.
And I guarantee you, if someone actually came up to me and said that, that's going to be a completely different altercation.
First off, most of the people that do that don't have the balls to do that.
Oh, no, you'll meet the crazies once in a while.
Well, yeah, there'll be some.
But majority of the people who send death threats are not harmful at all.
No, they're very passive people. They're actually people that you probably know in real life and you talk to every day and stuff like that, and you're just like, oh, this person seems stable, but the second you give them a freaking computer or something like that, they have to put, I'm going to, rape your dog. Why would you even go for my dog, man?
Yeah,
I love my dog.
Toxic communities are always out there, and I don't think there's one that's worse than others, and I don't think it's a problem with gaming. I don't think it's a problem with video games, because you see it in all formats of media. You see it in video games, cartoons, anime. You see it in movies. You see it in comic books.
It's in every platform of entertainment.
Exactly, and it has to do with how much communication's in the world now. You can go online and share a stupid idea, and then find 30 other people that like your stupid idea, that agree with your stupid idea. And, that's how communities build.
I just had a terrible thought. What if they had the same level of technology communication they did when Hitler was around?
I'm not going to go into that.
I'm just saying there's food for thought. I'm not saying any kind of comparisons in today's world or whatnot, but I'm just saying I just had a terrible thought about that, and it was not a good thought.
Well, do you take...
Yeah, they're called Never mind. Okay. So, I'm not going to go into that. Again, no politics on the show. But, yeah, toxic communities are everywhere.
Can I say one more thing about toxic communities?
Sure. Go ahead.
I think, honestly, the most toxic people in a community are two people. One, people that think that this medium that they're focusing on is their life. That they base everything, that they're so starstruck, mostly people younger, because you don't see that many people in their 20s and 30s that are that fanatical. It's mostly people that are younger who found this thing that really connected to it, and they're just so obsessed with it they can't hear a single bad thing about it.
Yeah.
Second, it's the people that think that they're vets in this situation. That they hate, new guys coming in. They want it back to when it was better and all that shit. Most normal people that just play games without a single... My golden unicorn?
Yes.
What's this for?
I thought you were an MLP fan.
But it's just it's people like that, people that think that either they're better than everyone in the community, they're the elites, or it's the people that are so fanatical about it, because most normal people are able to detach themselves from what they enjoy and what they're obsessed over.
Yeah.
I mean, I love playing games, but I'm not going to try to kill someone over it. I mean, you should have seen the toxicity in the Mass Effect community when during Mass Effect 3. Jesus Christ.
Oh, for the ending?
Yes. Look.
The same but different ending?
Yeah, I will sit here and say this on the podcast right now so everyone can point it at me and laugh at me. I didn't hate the ending. I didn't. I don't understand why there are so many people that hated it. I think a part of it is because everyone was like, well, I wanted Commander Shepard to, live towards the end. I'm like, but it's a classic trope. The hero has to sacrifice himself for the greater good.
Now, my problem was, I liked the endings.
Yeah.
But I didn't like how they were just the same.
Copy-pasted, yeah. It was just a different colored beam that was fine. I get that. That was a bit lazy on
they should have done, completely different cinematic endings for each one.
Yeah, just to give
and it would have been perfect. That was it.
Mm-hmm. But I think there was a good amount of them that were just like, I didn't want Shepard to die. It's like, so what the fuck did you want him to do? Empty his clip into, a Reaper baby or something like that, and all of it falls down, he could go have sex with whatever alien baby he found. I enjoyed the end because I felt like it was poetic. This man has done everything he possibly could to save the world, but the final thing he had to give up was his own life.
Right. So, but anyway, I agree with you.
Yeah.
And,
Shit.
Or he's gonna start sending death threats to you.
Yeah, or I'm gonna...
Just pet your pony.
Yeah.
There you go. So...
Coming.
Last question, and I'll close up after this question. But, as a developer, and you can kind of throw in on this if you were marketing.
You've officially excluded me from this conversation.
If you were a developer.
As a developer, when you're talking about your target audience, do you keep those kind of fans in mind, or do you stick to just the demographic? That's a hard one, isn't it?
Yeah, and when you're talking about that, do you mean taking in their criticisms and stuff like that, or taking in their ideas that they've given me?
I mean, you're about to sit down. You're about to, let's say I make a sequel to a game, and you have a fan base like Undertale, or a fan base like, I don't know, anything like that, where people are a little rabid.
Yeah.
Do you stick to the original demographic that was originally for the game? Or do you start trying to listen to the fan base and adhere to them, even if their ideas wouldn't really market to a bigger audience?
See, that's a hard question to ask, because you could think that same question about horror games. A lot of people, or let's go with Dead Space. Dead Space at the very beginning was a survival horror / third person action shooter. And then, and it was, really based in atmospheric in horror. The second one, it kind of started to shy away from the horror a bit more, adding a bit more action. Then the third one was just an action set piece with a bit different monsters in it. And I'm not saying that
Lost Planet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there are times where the fans are right in some aspects, like with Dead Space. But there's also some fans that are... sometimes the fan base is so divided in some areas that it would be best to merely focus on what got you to the table to begin with, and then possibly branch out from there. Focus on the teen demographic. Focus on your demographic that you started with, and then you could possibly add little Easter eggs or something like that the fans would also like. but make a competent game that you can sell to a person.
I think especially too if you already had a plan for a sequel.
Yes.
And
Stick to that.
Yeah, stick to that. Take into consideration definitely what people are saying.
Yes.
And see if and see if there's anything that they're bringing to the table that you think would work. Exactly. Or add Easter eggs, or change your plan a little bit to fit things. Because you have so many other perspectives out there that they're trying to give you. I mean, don't go for the crazies. Don't, I want you to change this completely and do this, and this was never in here, but put that in there too.
Yeah.
Like, obviously, take actual criticism from them.
Yeah.
And see if you can integrate that. If they have a better idea, then you're like, well, I never thought of that. We'll look into it. So yeah, I definitely think that's...
Try to filter out the crazies in your fans.
Yeah.
And try to listen to them, but not wholesale. You don't want to just change your game or change your aesthetic completely out because, one or a vocal group of your fans thought that, this is the best way.
Yeah.
You have to do it. That's the only way that the story should end. I'm like, first off, you're not the person that's going to tell me how the story ends. I am.
Yeah.
So, if I decided to make Shepard just fucking drop into space and die, and everything blows up the end, I could. Yeah, you'll get pissed at me, but guess what? You already bought the game. So.
Too late now.
Yeah, so fuck you.
Alrighty. So, you all pretty much covered the points I was going to do, so yeah.
We'll just reiterate it again. We need more time on this podcast.
No, I actually think we're doing good.
Hey.
But what I'm going to wrap up with, as far as my opinion on developing games, is you should appease your customers, but at the same time, stay true to yourself. I look at game teams like, I hate picking on them again, but Team Sonic.
Yeah.
For instance, they try to appeal to their fan base in some of the weirdest ways. And if you know what I'm talking about, you know the comic book series they tried to release. Or did, rather.
Yeah. If you want to, at the very end, you could put or in the description, you could put
I'm not going to subject anyone to Sonic Project.
If you don't already know and you want to know that bad, go find it on your own. We're not helping you.
Yeah.
Let's just say it's 18 plus. We can't talk about it.
And then you got the... rumors, and I don't know if they remember, but there was a wide spectrum of rumors that the guy who did Battleborn was going to release a porn series on his character because of the overwhelming competition of Overwatch.
Yeah, and the funny thing is, with Overwatch, it wasn't made by Blizzard. It was made by the fans that saw the characters, said they look hot, and made porn at them. I've never seen a single one of them, I swear.
I'm sure you know.
No one can prove it. Deleting my history.
But yeah, I think that's a bad way to go. I think appeasing to the fans that way, not a good idea.
You don't want to appease to the lowest common denominator.
Right.
But you also don't want to pick the people that think they're too good for themselves.
Right.
Pick the mid people that enjoy your shit.
And you also want room to grow. You
Yes.
want room for new people to walk in who might not agree with the fan base to sit there and be able to play the game.
Yeah.
Because in the end of the day, a game is an experience. And what experience do you want others to have? Anyway, that's what I'm going to wrap it up. Tune in next week for a conversation of Marvel versus DC in all fields of entertainment. So we'll talk about the good, the bad, the ugly, and we're going to hurt some feelings. Oh, I know we are. And if you don't agree with us, well, go cry a river.
Yeah, I don't care. Next, after that podcast, can we have a discussion of Pokemon versus Digimon? Because I got some spreadsheets.
He's prepared for this moment.
We'll see. You're going to have to bring in the onesie at that point.
I'll just bring in the whiteboard over here. So, you see?
Alright. Well, anyway, you all take care. If you like the video, feel free to give a like, subscribe, and make sure you turn on that little bell for notifications. If you don't care about any of that, neither do I, because I'm not going to make any money on this stuff. So it would just be something for me, something to appreciate, and like always, you all have a great evening, or day, or night. Alright, see you all next week.
Bye.
Bye-bye.